All right, Jay. So I got me my store credit, all right?
Got your store credit.
Back here at Morse Comic Books, okay? Right? What's the address?
33077 Fraser, Michigan, 48026. We're right off Garfield and 14 Mile. We're just north of 14 on Garfield.
Okay. So I just traded my books in right here. Now, I heard you guys do grading services.
I do. I will send these books off for you.
These are my books here that you're looking at right in front of you.
These are the books I'm going to look at for you. I'm going to give you my honest opinion on what you should send and what you shouldn't send. If you want them, like I said, if you want them just slabbed so they look pretty and you can put them on the wall with a hanger, yada, 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 that's fine. If you're looking at an investment, you don't want to grade a book that's not worth grading.
Okay, so let's get honest opinion. I got a couple books here, so let's get the
This is Wolverine #1, and this book is a 9698 candidate.
Okay.
Unless there's an issue within the interior.
Right.
I don't like to open books all the time because when you open a book, it's possible to crease the spine going this way. It's best to have unread books going into CGC.
Cool.
Unless there's an issue from the front and the back, I don't see any damage, any spots, any ticks. Just a beautiful copy of Wolverine #1.
So
definitely worth sending out.
Your guess on the grade would be what?
I would say, if I was being honest, no less than a 9.4.
Okay.
It's a 9698 candidate, but this should be no less than a 9.4.
Okay. So my guess on that was at least a 9. That's what my guess was.
This is going to be higher than a 9.
Okay. Cool.
It's going to, unless, like I say, if there's an internal issue that I can't see without going through the pages, so be it. Sometimes I take that risk. Everybody don't take that risk. Like if it's a Silver Age book, a Bronze Age book, a lot of times I will, before I press it, before I clean it.
Because they've already been opened.
They've already been opened, and you have to check because older books you can have, like First Poison Ivy, Batman 181, you could be missing the centerfold. You could be missing a page of a book, and it could, you get it back and it's a green label from CGC, it's a blue label from CBCS or whatever it is, and your book is incomplete and you lose value.
Okay. Second book,
G.I. Joe #1. This is a pretty solid book.
For me, I put it as an 8.
This is what I would probably say. Anywhere from a 8. This can be from a 7.5 to an 8.5. It might be higher, but that's just you do have some issues. You got an issue with this corner here.
Okay.
You have one tick here that can't be pressed out, and you got another issue on this corner. The other two corners are pretty sharp. The back of the book is really clean. With a cleaning and a press, you could be at 8.59 on this book. Conservative, 8.0. 8.0 is $150, $250 book, between that range, $175, something like that.
Cool.
It's worth getting graded for a book that you didn't pay anything for, that you inherited from being a child.
Correct.
It's worth putting that investment into it. Because raw, you can get to $100 for the book.
And that's a
condition.
That's a direct compared to a newsstand, right? Newsstands
this book here is not really a big book. It's an iconic cover. It is first Wolverine Deadpool, I think. It's the first fight between Wolverine and Deadpool.
That's #1.
But this book is still readily available. You can find this book. You might not can find it in dollar books like you used to, but you can find this book for $15, $20 still around. So for me, I would not grade this copy.
As an honest
opinion.
Okay.
What did you think this was?
I thought it was a 9.4.
No. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You got 7 spine ticks on this book. It is a darker cover. You got 7 spine ticks that will not press out on this.
Okay.
So this book probably from CGC would more than likely be a 8. CBCS might give it a 7. But I would not grade this book. I would put this back in the collection, sell it, and try to get a better copy. And pay attention, because when you get dealing with this, you got this darkness down here, the black. cover, but they are very minute and they can't be pressed out. And then you got some on the blue. That is a color break. That is a color break. That is a color break. They're not going to press out.
Cool.
So I would not press this.
Put that one aside. There it is.
This is first solo Wolverine, X-Men 133. You have a lot of spine ticks on this book, but it's a book from 1980. It's an iconic book. A lot of people don't know to grade this book or what this book is all the time. You know, Key Collector helps you out with that a lot. But this is an iconic book. It's Wolverine's first solo anything. And this is a pretty good copy. A lot of people think this is a newsstand, but this is all it was at this time. It really was a newsstand and direct during this time. So this is not really a newsstand, but you'll see them listed as newsstand. This book here is probably, you got a lot of spine ticks. You got some corner wears. You got corners. You got a dog ear that then tore off. It's a really small dog ear, but it's gone there. But conservatively, this book probably is going to get you back a 6. Still worth grading in a 6 because it's
iconic.
Yeah, it's a 40-year-old book, and it's an iconic book. And you're a Wolverine fan personally, so I definitely would get it graded. I'm going to show you this book again in a little bit.
90% of these books I'm grading.
I don't care if this was a dog had chewed this up. You get this graded. This is X-Men number 2. And
63.
1963. It's got a lot of foxing. It's got a lot of issues with color breaks. It's got terrible spine ticks all the way down. But my partner got one of these that was missing almost half the book, and it came back a 1.0. It's a $500 book in that condition. This can possibly be a 2 to a 3.0 with a pressing and a cleaning. It definitely will be at least a 2.
My guess was a 1.
In a 2, this is going to be almost $1,000 book. In a 2. Still the second appearance of the X-Men. I do not have this book personally myself. My partner does. I want this book. I have some good books.
You can't have it.
Huh? I have some good books. But
then
we got Hawk 180 that this year we're discussing back and forth. Is this Wolverine's first appearance or is it not? For years, this was Wolverine's first appearance. Somewhere in the 80s, it got misconstrued, and 181 is the one that blew up. But this book has been making major gains in the last 2 years. In this shape, did you check for the value stamp?
It has the value stamp.
It has the value stamp. For those who don't know, I'm going to break my rule because you can see that this book has been opened numerous times. So I'm going to open this book.
I actually recently opened it and put this clear backer on it just so I could see the back of the book. Okay.
So we're going to go through it. And I'm going to make sure the value stamp is there. The staples are pretty solid in this book.
I'm going to turn the camera just so they can see.
This definitely needs to be cleaned and pressed. It has had some water damage.
Yep.
But this book needs to be pressed. You see all those waves in there? All of those need to be taken out. And,
see? It's a good thing we checked that.
This is why you go through books. Now, this is going to be considered detached. But still going to be complete, but this is going to be detached. You do have the value stamp, and you got water damage. So I would have given this book a 4.5 to...
Turn this back around.
I would have given this book...
He doesn't have COVID.
Definitely don't. I would have given this book a 4.5 grade prior to that. But now, with that page detached, this book is probably going to be a 3.0 at best. They say, like, if the cover's detached, it's automatically a 1.0. I've seen books go higher than a 1.0 with covers detached. With the interior page detached, it's going to present fairly well after it's cleaned. You're definitely getting this cleaned and pressed, correct?
Correct, yep.
I would say conservatively, this is probably going to be a 3.0. Now, I'm going to show you some books that I have right now that are getting ready to get sent off.
I heard you got some killer books too.
I don't have all the ones I'm sending off, but I just got some back from my cleaning and pressing guy. I got a guy named Aaron Parks.
Let's see that.
This is his card. We do cleaning and pressing here at the shop. We also send books off for CGC at the shop. I'll discuss the fees with you later.
Well,
But
here's your fees in a cleaning press right here. So cool.
Usually it's like $15. Some people, if you don't want to go through my presser, you can have CGC press it. It's usually the same price, but it takes a lot longer to get it cleaned and pressed from CGC. I got people that send stuff off express, walk through, $120 a book. Still takes 2 months because it took 2 months for it to get cleaned and pressed, and then it took 4 days for it to get walked through CGC. Right. So it is what it is. This is the first book.
So, and before you start, I got to know which ones are for the shop. That's going to be presented
These
here.
These are all mine.
Okay, so he's being
These are
being
all
selfish
mine. These
here.
are no shop books.
But these are going to be so when we open these, we're going to open these at the shop, and we're going to show everyone what the grades are.
When these come back. These should come back in one lot. Some of these might come back. These might go in a different lot. And then all of these are not going in this. I have a giant size X-Men that's going, a first Batgirl that's going,
which will also be
a first Black Panther that's going. I'm going to send a lot, and I might send some of those express or $75 to get them back fairly quick. They're all lower grades, but they're Grail books, and I want them back. I want them. This is...
We're also going to be opening these and these at the shop.
Some of these possibly, yes. We're going to start opening all the books we get back from CGC. We send out quite a bit of CGC books. Unless it's a customer's books, we're going to show books that we have for our personal collections, and we're going to show books that we have for the store. Because we grade a lot of store. We have a lot of stuff vaulted, waiting on movies and things like that. We're going to start bringing some of that stuff and showing it in the video so you guys know the type of quality stuff we have at this little big shop.
You guys also do eBay or?
We also do eBay. We do Whatnot. We do Mercari. We do Facebook. We do... My partner does Instagram. I don't really do Instagram like he does.
So we're going to say all the links are going to be down below, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Everything you're looking for is going to be down below. 9.8
and
graded
we have
slabs.
a website, MorseComicStash.com.
Yep,
we also have a website where you can place orders, and we fill orders from that website as well.
So these are your personal books.
These are my personal books. This is Spider-Gwen's first appearance. This is a 5th printing, though. But
what's the grade you think?
This is going to be a high 9. There's nothing on here. There's one. It's not a color break because it's white, but it could be a color break. This is probably going to be a 9.4, 9.6. If it was a 9.8, it'd be better. It's not really a spectacular book. Raw, this book goes for $60, $70. It's not the first printing, but I don't have a first printing, so I want to get it graded. Maybe for trade bait, maybe to keep.
Fantastic book.
We got Green Lantern coming soon. These two are the first appearance of John Stewart. This one here has rust on the staples and a small little chunk missing out. This one doesn't. I'm looking at these books with cleaning. This one came a little cleaner than this one did. These both have been cleaned and pressed already. We're probably looking at, for this one right here, probably a 6 to a 6.5.
Okay.
This one is probably going to be a 7 to a 7.5. Cross our fingers. We might get a little better. We got a little spot right here, a little spot right there. Some dog earring right there. But other than that, it's a pretty solid book. These books should be heating up.
Here's my favorite right here.
This, we have first appearance of Weapon Alpha, which is Guardian from Alpha Flight. X-Men 109. Pretty solid book. Little issue there. I'm hoping on this book, 8 will be fine for me on this book. You know, I want it in a higher grade. I've sold it in a higher grade. I said, I want a copy of it. So I'm keeping this one, and I'm going to send it off. I'm not expecting anything major on this book. But same thing. If another one comes in the store higher grade, I'll just upgrade. Sometimes I do that. I'll put this one. This one comes back a 7 or 6.5. This one will be for sale, and that 8.5 that walked in my store will be on my wall.
Upgrade till you get a 9.8, right?
That's what I try to do. Then we got House of Mysteries 156. A lot of people don't know this book. This is the first Dial H for Hero. It is a major spec book. It's basically, if you're familiar with Ben 10, that's what the concept is. Ben 10 stole the concept from the here. It's basically a guy who has a rotor, and he spins the rotor, and it picks a different hero, and he can be over 1,000 different heroes, 1,000 different powers. And they were specking about this possibly being a CW show. It's a DC book. And
Silver Age too, right?
Silver Age, yeah, 12 center. It's got a lot of issues. I'd be happy with this book in a 4, 3, 5. That's probably what this is. But you don't see this book a lot. You don't see it come up a lot. I don't see it in collections when they come through the doors. I go look at collections all the time. I don't see this book often. Me and Travis, we split a personal collection one time, and we were playing you take a book, I take a book. He got this book. I got the second appearance of Beast Boy, and we made a trade, and I got this book, and he got the second appearance of Beast Boy. But I'm happy with my trade because I really wanted this book.
It's a good book.
Yeah, I hope so. And if it's not, it's in my personal collection anyway. Then we got Thundercats #1. This book's up and down, up and down, up and down, but this is a phenomenal copy. There is color breaks, but I don't think it's color breaks from creasing. I think this is a printing issue that these are coming from. It's still going to be a high 9, 9.2, 9.4, 9.0. It's going to be in the 9s. It will not be an 8. I can't say because I'm not sure if these are factory defects or are they color breaks. It's just no crease in there for it to be a color break, but they're by the Staples.
Comment down below what you think.
Book looks great. It's been pressed and cleaned already. It's Marvel. It's a Star Comics book. I like the book. My childhood. I'm a little older than these guys, and this is my childhood right here. So I definitely wanted a copy myself.
I think my book fell out right there.
No, it did not. Okay, we seen this book before today. This is X-Men 133. This is my copy.
Better copy.
Okay.
We can trade.
It does have a few issues, but nothing as severe as the last copy. I'm thinking with this book here, we're going to be at least at a 9, 8.5 to a 9. It could be higher. It is a really, really, really good copy of this book.
That's a good cover book too.
Yeah, it is a good cover book. I really like this book. Like I said, personal collection book. It's not going anywhere right now unless I see a spectacular copy come in the door and I can upgrade. If not, this will be in the PC. But it's
Beautiful
really,
book.
really nice.
Can you tell
Really
I like
clean.
this book too?
Huh?
Can you tell I like that book too?
Yeah.
That's in mine.
Now, here we got first appearance of Rogue. This one has one issue right there. One issue, really right there. I have this book in a 9.6. I also have one in the store right now in a 9.4.
What you asking for that one?
I got $375, $350 on it.
For a 9.4.
9.4. This is going to be at least. This is going to at least be a 9 to a 9.4, something in that range. I do have the one spine tick, and it is a color break. But other than that, the corners are perfectly sharp. The book's got good centering. We'll just see. One of the reasons I'm selling this 9.4, this 9.4 came out of my personal collection as well, is because I got this one. So I'm like, I don't need 3 copies of it. I'm keeping the 9.6. I'll sell the 9.4. Even if this come back a 9, it's still in the same ballpark. I'm going ahead. I got it up for sale. Now we got Avengers 62, First M'Baku.
Okay.
This is not a high-grade book at all. It is a lot of damage. The staples are pretty solid. It cleaned up pretty good, but it's just because it's a darker cover. Darker covers are always hard. You got a subscription crease. I mean, it's a lot. If I get a 4 or 3.5 on this book, I'll be happy. It's a book that I think we're going to do more in the Marvel Universe with the character. And I think it's worth getting graded because, you know, you don't see books from 66, 67 every day. And so many every day, some of them getting destroyed, some of them getting vaulted, and no one's going to see them again for 20 years. So when you get these opportunities, you should make sure you stop the damage for Silver Age books and Golden Age books right when you get them. Stop whatever's going to happen. Stop it in time right then and there, you know,
So
even if it's a low grade.
I think we all saw that last book, sort of. I tried to keep it out of the camera a little bit. What you got?
Okay, here is the last book that I'm in this lot.
This is your PC, right?
Yeah, this is going to be in my personal collection. For a guy that owns a comic book store,
This is your first?
This is
kept?
not my first. This is the first I've kept. I've had this book in high grade and sold it because when you own a shop, you're in this business to make money. But I also am a collector myself, and I like nice books. And this book here is a book that I'm going to keep. I'm going to grade. It's probably only going to be a 3. There is a tear right here at this foot that goes completely through the book, like someone went to tear the book in half. You got chipping up here. You got a scrape mark right here. You got a scrape mark right here. And a little fading up here. No water damage to the book. And I'm keeping this book, just to put it like that. I'm keeping this book. If another one comes in higher, I'm going to sell this one and I'm going to take the higher book. That's how I do with a lot of the books that come into the shop. If, you know, I already got the book and I'm looking to upgrade. This book right here, I'm number 2 on this because my partner got one of these copies and he paid $1,200 for his book. I got this one for $75.
No.
And his came back at a 4.0, and I could not believe that book came back at a 4.0. That's why I'm saying these are modest opinions. These are not factual guesses. I mean, factual things on these books saying what the grades are. It's my opinion. What I'm good though. I'm 75, 80% right on most of these grades when I get books back. But I try to give the best opinion I can. For this book, I'm thinking this is gonna be a 3. But for $75, I'll take my 3. He paid $1,200 for a 4.
All day. So
He got robbed. He got robbed.
So now that we got that, right, I heard the shop, like we were talking about earlier, you send out books for customers.
This is for a friend of mine, and he just happened to come in. So, Merry Christmas, my friend.
Thank you very much, buddy.
Thank you.
Man, and we doing Christmas presents here, man. Wow.
Whatever you supposed to trade me, don't worry about it. That's
All right, cool.
Merry Christmas.
I love you.
All right, so you send out books for customers.
Yes. Okay. Now with the CGC, it depends on if you want the book pressed and cleaned. You're looking at pressed and cleaned and sent, shipped and returned. You're looking at $45. That's the lowest tier. If you're going up from there, that's going economy. That's from the store. There is a surcharge of $7 per book for me to send it from the shop. That's with shipping and everything. If you went through CGC and you had an account, it would be $22. Plus, if you decided to get it cleaned and pressed, it would be $15. If you're not cleaning and pressed the book, it's only $30, and that's economy. The next tier up would be $40, and that would be standard, and that would be $40 per. It will be $30 per modern economy. It will be $40 per pre-75 economy. The next tier up from that is $75. So you'd be looking at $90 per book to get it cleaned and pressed. Then you have what they call express or walkthrough. It's like $120 per book. That will run you about $130, $135 per book to send off through the shop. We do have waivers that you would need to sign because we've had issues where books have been damaged in the process of being shipped between here and CGC. CGC gives you that information and lets you know that it's their fault, but it all depends on how much you want to insure the book for. to make sure the book stays safe. Whatever you insure the book from, if something happens to that book, CGC reimburses us, and therefore we reimburse you. But it's not like a situation where if you give us a book and the book gets damaged in the shop, we cover that. But once it's mailed off and it gets to CGC, CGC has open boxes with box cutters and slit right through books of mine. And whatever I insure that book from, that's why certain books I send express, or I send $75. I send a priority because I want them to get there. And it's certain things you have to put on the boxes to alert them that these are expensive books. So that's usually what I do with the bigger books. You know, even with a book like this, I would send this book $75. I wouldn't send this book $120. I would send it the second tier instead of economy. I would have sent this book economy a year ago, but now the times are just too long to wait for a book. You can be at almost a year, 9 months on a book coming back because so many people are grading books right now through CGC. Plus they just branched off into grading cards. So, and that's just with CGC. CGC is not my favorite grading company. It's my favorite grading company because of the way it's looked at in the secondary market for selling books. CBCS is much stricter on the grading of their books, in my opinion. Something that's a 7, I've cracked books that were CBCS and sent them to CGC. I got a 7.5 from CBCS. I got a 9.2 from CGC. So, but people pay a premium for CGC opposed to CBCS. So that's what I would do. We offer these services here at the shop. Come in and see us.
I appreciate your time.
Yes, sir.
My
I'll see you
friend.
next go round.
I'm going to go ahead and leave you my books.
Yep.
And we out of here, man. I'll talk to you guys later. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to comment down below what you guys think the grades are. And we'll see what they come back as.